Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Satsai Media coming at you with another video. You guys already know what time it is. Time to burn on that boxing. Today we're going to be talking about Terence Crawford, the infamous Instagram live video that he kind of, he sat down real quick, went on IG live and kind of told his side of the story, or at least, what he wanted to be portrayed. I don't know, it's hard to tell whether or not whose story is accurate. They say there's always three sides to the story. There's the one person's side, the other's side, and then there's the truth. So we really don't know. In terms of body language, it seemed like Terence Crawford was very genuine in his thought process. He said that there were 25 million guaranteed. It was some other company, and they said that each guy would get 25 million. That's a lot of money, guys. It's not like in the 300s or 400, 500 millions, but that's a lot of money. I think that that's a good deal. But at the end of the day, you can't blame a guy like Errol Spence. He's going to his manager. Terence Crawford talked a lot about, being his own boss, but at the same time, Al Heyman has done so much for so many fighters that it would be hard to do that, and he knows what he's doing. Obviously, Errol Spence is he's a bona fide, champion. He's a welterweight. So is Terence Crawford. But at the same time, Errol Spence wants to make sure that things get done the right way. That's why you have a manager. That's why you sign under a promoter. That's why you have them do all the business for you. Because as a boxer, you're just supposed to make sure that you're happy with the money. Whatever the A side, B side scenario is. Your job is to understand what's going on in that situation. But when it comes down to the finances and breaking down the actual details of the contract, I feel like Errol Spence does the right thing. Al Heyman's one of the best of all time. Everybody knows who Al Heyman is. I've done a video in the past talking about Al Heyman with Vito Mielnicki, who's actually signed to Al Heyman. So it's just about, the timing. It's about professionalism. I don't think a guy like Al Heyman is going to let Errol Spence fight on some random network, just because they're saying that they're going to make 25 million. There has to be reputable sources, reputable, people who actually know what they're doing. It can't be just some random network. What if something happens on that network and it just turns off? The service isn't good, the streaming service isn't good for the fans. Then you get a lot of criticism after the fight. You may make a decent amount of money, but at the end of the day, what if people didn't like the way it was presented? They didn't like the commentary. There's a lot that goes into these fights getting made. I'm not saying that either guy is lying. I'm just saying that Terence Crawford, it's a different situation. After he left Top Rank, he is technically his own boss, like he said in the Instagram live video. Errol Spence is still his own boss, but at the end of the day, he has a guy, he has a team, and one of those guys on those teams, the head is Al Heyman, along with Floyd Mayweather. They're saying that's the his right hand man. So I don't know what to tell Terence Crawford. It's just, I don't blame Errol Spence. You can't blame Errol Spence for not making the fight happen. I feel like he's definitely tried. I don't think he's scared of anybody. It's just, judging through actions, it seems like Errol Spence is the guy that, was down to fight. I don't think, every time something new, a news outlet, or I hear from a source or a guy from, that actually knows what's going on within the negotiations, it's always, something around waiting on Terence Crawford's team. I'm not saying that it's Terence Crawford necessarily. It could be, the guys that support him, that help him do business. I'm not saying it's either guy's fault. I'm just saying that we're hearing mixed stories. Everything's overlapping. Everything's contradicting what we're hearing or being told on the Instagram live and what we're being told by, sources, the Twitter boxing heads, all those people. So it's hard to tell, what's going to happen. Obviously, Terence Crawford's going to be fighting David Avanesian, real soon. I think he started training camp already. And then, we're hearing potential opponents for Errol Spence. They're saying Keith Thurman. They're saying Stanionis. I don't know. Those are good fights I'm not really familiar with David Avanesian, so I don't really want to speak on that. But from what I've heard, he's a tough fighter. But I do know, Stanionis and Thurman, obviously. Those guys have been names in the welterweight division for some time now, especially Keith Thurman. I think that's a good fight. Especially if they can't make the Terence Crawford fight happen. It's just, I knew this was going to happen. Right now, if I were to give a percentage of it, if Terence Crawford and Errol Spencer were to fight, I think that they're going to fight, but I don't know if we get it when we want it. I'm not sure even if you get it next year, to be honest with you. Boxing just moves at that kind of pace where it's like, okay, you fought, you got to take a few months off, spend time with the family. That's just how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. But then you get back into the negotiating, you try that, it doesn't work again, then you got to stay active. you know, I don't know if it happens in 2023, if I'm being honest. Hopefully I'm wrong. I always hope I'm wrong when I talk about this stuff, but I said in the beginning when they were saying November 12th, November 19th, I don't know if it's actually going to happen. You know, they're both they're talking back and forth on Twitter. It's just a lot right now, and it's hard to know who to believe, but hopefully we see it down the line, I guess. I don't know. But there are a lot of other fights with welterweights that could happen, and if these guys want to move up to 154 and then face each other eventually up there, and, you know, each guy, you know, proves themselves, maybe it'll be an easier fight to make at 154. I don't know. I thought this was the time for it. I feel like they put a lot of time and effort into, you know, creating the build up for it. You know, I feel like both guys fighting Sean Porter was like the perfect time to make it happen right after, and I feel like, you know, that the fight was at its pinnacle, and it is right now at its pinnacle, and since it's not being made, it's going to continue to lose attention unless some crazy, you know, narrative comes out or controversy that could spark the interest even more. But, you know, I know boxing fans will be craving for it. I'm just talking about, you know, getting the other sports fans that don't necessarily tune into boxing events to get them to watch, and people all over the world, which obviously is the point. You want to sell pay-per-views and generate all that pay-per-view money. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with any intel I get with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. You know, hopefully there's something in the works after both guys, you know, it's expected that they both fight one time and then they'll hopefully get back into negotiations. I don't know, but thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said before, I'll keep you guys will keep you guys updated. Hit that notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Well, that's gonna do it for another NASFight Media video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to you always.